So I've been mouth taping for years now and I love it, especially not waking up with a dry mouth. That is my favorite part by far. But if you're just getting into this health trend, choosing a tape can be overwhelming. There are hundreds of brands and they all claim to be the best. That's why I thought it would be fun to spend way too much money on the most popular brands as well as several DIY options to see how they all stack up. Let's start with adhesives. In the world of mouth tape, there are two varieties here, acrylic and silicone. Acrylic adhesives almost always have a stronger hold. In fact, several of the brands I tried held on a bit too firmly and were even mildly painful to remove. These were always acrylic based. But if you're worried about losing mouth tape overnight and wasting money applying more than one per day, this may be exactly what you're looking for. Now, silicone is a bit gentler on the skin, and I found it also retains its stickiness a bit better if you have to remove it and put it back on for whatever reason. Overall, I tend to lean towards liking silicone more than acrylic. It's not objectively better in any way, that's how I feel about it. All right, let's talk about the mouth tape that I tested. There are really 5 categories here: over the mouth, around the mouth, just the lips, just the tip, and DIY. The most popular mouth tapes out there are almost all over the mouth, and there are a ton of these. So I bought Hostage Tape, ZZZ Tape, PapMD, and Dream Tape. These are all acrylic based and have stretch to them, just like kinesiology tape, and that's because most mouth tape is just a custom rebranded version of kinesiology tape. Mostly what you're paying for is convenience. All of these come as individual pieces in Ziploc bags and feature the pull-apart perforation commonly seen in mouth tape nowadays, except for PapMD, which just comes on a single sheet. I personally prefer the pull-apart thing. As far as facial hair goes, Hostage Tape, ZZZ Tape, and PapMD all worked great for me. The normal Dream Tape actually worked very well too, but a little too well. It actually hurt to take off, and for me that's a con. For you, maybe that's a pro. Now, the other Dream Tape I got is called Dream Plus, and it's a pretty weird one. It's infused with collagen, vitamins, and minerals. I used these for a week or so, and I don't really know if they did anything. If you're into the beauty routine thing, or you kind of just want like the best mouth tape you can buy, this is a pretty interesting one to try out. Now, even though the Dream Plus has a perforation on it, it's plastic and it's kind of a pain in the butt to rip. It's also extremely loud. So if you don't want to wake your neighbors, just peel that one. As far as off-gassing and chemicals go, PapMD had a tiny smell to it. It's not nearly as bad as one of the other tapes we're going to talk about later in this video, but it's worth mentioning, I think, because it stood out a little bit more than all the rest. Next up, lip tape. Here I tested Skinny Confidential, Drift, and Somnifix. These are a bit subtler and less in your face, literally. Personally, I prefer this type of tape. I just find it more comfortable. Now, of course, the silicone ones don't stick to mustache hair quite as well as, let's say, the Skinny Confidential one does, but I'm betting if you have a big burly mustache, the Skinny Confidential branding isn't exactly your cup of tea. Now, I will say with the Drift and Somnifix, or with any silicone-based adhesive, if you have a lot of hair going on here, you can always kind of purse your lips and put it on, and that does tend to give you a little bit more room to work with, and you can get it to work. It's just not as easy as an acrylic adhesive is. Now, you may have noticed that all 3 of these have a slit in the mouth area. I guess this can serve as an anxiety reducer for anyone who thinks that they're going to suffocate and die if they wear mouth tape. You won't, probably. But it also opens up the possibility to, let's say, drink water through a straw at night without going through a piece of mouth tape or going thirsty. Now, you won't accidentally breathe through your mouth. It takes some effort to use that slit, so don't worry so much about that kind of ruining the mouth tape experience, because it won't. Now, with Skinny Confidential, you get a little tin case that holds them all in, and it's the only brand I've found that comes with something like that, which I thought was kind of nice. On the other end of the spectrum, Somnifix comes in this big bundle of like Band-Aid wrapper tapes things, so you have to open up the wrapper and then you have to peel the tape off. I found it kind of annoying. It's just extra trash, it's extra steps. Now, Drift, I probably enjoyed the most out of all these tapes, especially because I emailed everybody that is in this video. I emailed all of the companies to ask about their adhesives, just to double check things like that. And a lot of them were kind of secretive about it, even though it's not really a secret. It's adhesive, guys. But Drift was really open about it. I mean, they sent me a huge email, which I found pleasing. Next up is just the tip. I only have 2 tapes here, the Dream Strips and Vio 2. These are about as minimal as it gets, especially the Dream Strips. These are probably worth looking into if you've tried mouth tape in the past and you just find stuff on your face really distracting and annoying. Having just a tiny little strip, it's about as good as it gets. Now, the adhesives on both of these are acrylic and they're very strong. I found both of them actually hurt to take off, especially with a mustache. So if you want to avoid that, avoid these. But on the other hand, since they're covering less surface area, perhaps that's a good thing. I will note that Vio 2 had a slight smell to it, similar to PAP MD. I also found it much easier to ruin Vio 2 because of its weird floppy shape. If you're not careful, if you're taking it off at night in the dark or something, and it accidentally just kind of like rebounds and kind of sticks to itself, it's very difficult to recover from that, and you basically just ruined 50 cents or whatever it cost. Next is the weirdest category, and that is around the mouth. As far as I know, Myotape is the only company making any tape that fits into this category. They offer quite a few versions. I just got the regular and the beard one, but they also offer a kids version and a few others. I thought it was kind of cool that they have a kids version. I haven't really seen anyone else do that. This format offers several advantages. Maybe you want access to your mouth at night should you want to breathe through it. Or perhaps you like to drink water at night. Or maybe you just don't like putting tape over your beautiful, luscious lips. In either case, this tape does work. You have to really try to open your mouth, so I wouldn't be worried about that. Now, the beard version I tried just has like a slightly larger top half or bottom half. I don't know. It didn't come with instructions. I assume it's for the mustache. It gives you a little extra mustache hold. I don't know. It's basically the exact same as the normal version. They both worked fine. Now, one thing, this is that brand I was talking about earlier when it came to smell. The packaging just smelled terrible. Like it had this sweet, chemically aroma. It was very strong in the package. You take the tape out, the tape itself doesn't really smell that bad, but like in the package, it was awful. And it was both packages. So, it wasn't just like a one package fluke thing. So if you get these, put them outside and let them off gas or something. Another thing I found annoying was they come in a big sheet and it's not perforated or anything. So if you want singles, you have to cut them yourself. And on mine, at least, when I went to peel them off the paper backing, if I wasn't careful to really grab just the tape, it would pull paper up with it. So it's an interesting, novel tape that might appeal to you because being able to drink water at night without ruining your tape or something. But yeah, just a couple downsides to be aware of that I had. Now, last but not least, DIY. This is for the penny pinchers out there. Mouth tape can range anywhere from 50 cents to $1 per piece of tape. And that adds up quick, especially like sometimes I wake up and my mouth tape's gone. Like, did I eat it? Did I put it in the trash? I have no idea. I don't know where it went. But if you're spending $1 per tape and you lose one, it can add up. So DIY, you can get down to like 10 cents, 15 cents per application. So yeah, you can save money here. If you're curious, I have a huge table where I took all the tapes and all the different like subscription and yada yada combinations, and they're on the article for this review, link down below. So if you want to compare these, kind of see how they stack up price-wise, you can do that. Now, the ones I tried were 3M Micropore, 3M Silicone, Medvance, and some kinesiology tape. As we've mentioned, the kinesiology tape, basically the same thing as all of the other mouth tapes. Actually, PAP MD was like literally the same size. The only downside here is that you have to kind of like cut out your own tape sizes. So it's DIY, of course. I will say that it's not as strong as, let's say, Dream Tape. The Dream Tape had a much stronger adhesive than at least the kinesiology tape I bought. There's, of course, thousands of different kinesiology tapes out there. I can't test them all, but something to note. Now, I've seen 3M micropore tape recommended a lot as a budget option on Reddit, especially, and I don't have enough bad things to say about it. It leaves a terrible film on your mouth and on your lips, and it's just like impossible to get rid of. It's the cheapest one, but don't do it. Just don't buy it. Okay? Now, 3M does sell a silicone tape, and Medvance is also a silicone tape. Out of the two, I preferred 3M silicone. It's a good feeling tape, so I would go with that one. If you're going to go the DIY route and you want a silicone, 3M silicone is the way to go. Okay, so that is all the tape I tested. I've got a few tips for you guys, and then I'm all done. If you've never tried mouth tape before, using it at night right before you go to bed for the first time can be a disaster. The physical sensation can be very distracting, and I've even run into scenarios like if I haven't mouth taped in a while and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna put it on tonight. It can lead to like insomnia where you just can't get relaxed. So for example, try just wearing it during the day just to get used to what the physical sensation feels like so it's easier to ignore when you go to bed for the first time. Or if you wake up in the middle of the night and you find it easy to go back to bed, you can put it on then. I found that I'm just more tired and it's easier for me to fall asleep with the mouth tape on. Again, if you find over the mouth too distracting, go for just the lips or a strip, and that might work better for you. Now, removing mouth tape can suck, especially with the stretchy kinesiology tape kind with the acrylic adhesive. With those, pull down, not across, okay? There, I just saved you. All right, that's it. I hope this video has helped you understand the mouth tape landscape a little better. And if you choose one and you get better sleep, I hope you come back here and you like this video. All right, I'll see you guys.